In this video, you'll learn 2 of 6 steps to get Millennials and Generation Z to show up to work and meetings on time. How often are workers late to work? Is the 9-to-5 schedule obsolete? Are employers becoming more lenient with worker tardiness? Career Builder recently explored this topic with a January 2017 nationwide survey of more than 2,600 hiring and human resource managers and more than 3,400 workers across industries. Here are the findings. 29% of workers admitted they were late to work at least once a month, up from 25% in 2016. 64% of employers and employees believe the concept of working 9 to 5 is an antiquated practice, but 53% of employers expect employees to be on time every day. 29% say they have no problem with the occasional late arrival as long as it doesn't become a pattern, which is down from 33% in 2016. Even though these trends point to a greater employer leniency for tardiness, arriving to work or meetings on time remains a pertinent challenge that I hear frequently from my audiences and folks who manage Millennials and Generation Z. Millennials and Generation Z have a 24/7 always-on approach to work. So coming in late at 9:45 a.m. isn't a big deal since they were sending emails since they woke up at 7 a.m. and plan to work until 11 p.m. And other times, the emerging generations are simply unaware that their tardiness is having an effect on those around them. Whatever the case may be, the following should help managers of Millennials and Generation Z. Here are 2 of 6 steps to get Millennials and Generation Z to show up to work and meetings on time. Number 1, believe the best. Leadership expert Andy Stanley says, occasionally there are gaps between what we expect people to do and what they actually do. As leaders, we choose what to put in between the gap. And what you as a leader choose to put in the gap will shape your culture. And what you put into that gap will also be what your staff puts in that gap. You will either assume the worst or choose to believe the best. According to Andy Stanley, developing a culture of trust is critical to the health of your organization. Trust fuels productivity. The message of trust is this: I think you are smart enough to know what to do, and if you make a mistake, you will tell me and then fix it. Stanley makes a compelling case to insert trust into the gap when you see your Millennial or Generation Z employees show up late. Choosing to insert your own assumption, for example, all Millennials are lazy, could cause you to overreact or lash out and ultimately erode trust. If the tardiness becomes a chronic issue, continue with the below steps. Number 2, address quickly. Stanley says, quote, if you want to build a culture of trust, you must confront fairly and quickly and refuse to sit on it. Before I assume the worst, I should at least ask for the facts. The consequences of concealment are far greater than the consequences of confrontation. End quote. Waiting so long that you react in anger towards the tardy employee is unacceptable and unprofessional. Or waiting too long and beginning to document their every move, you run the risk of making the employee feel like they are being watched. After a few offenses, approach the employee directly, schedule a one-on-one or lunch where there is ample time for both the employee and the leader to discuss the issue. They might not have a valid excuse or reason for their behavior, but they will appreciate you believing the best. Don't let your fear of being the micromanager or bad manager get in the way of being the manager they need. Thanks for watching. I hope this content was insightful and useful. As a top-ranked Millennial and Generation Z speaker and an Inc.com columnist, I help organizations lead, engage, and sell to the emerging generations, as well as helping them leverage today's workplace trends. If you'd like to have me speak to your organization or at your association, click the link in the description to begin that conversation. Also, if you'd like to learn more strategies and insights like the ones shared in this video, click the link in the description to grab your copy of my latest book, The Millennial Manual, the complete how-to guide to manage, develop, and engage Millennials at work. And lastly, click subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again, and bye for now.